Hi students, today we are correcting our characterization homework. So this is on slide 14 and 15. Okay, here are the answers. So for this one, you were supposed to have matched the statements below with the character clues that represent the character clues they represent. And it says you may use the clues more than once. So number 1, Tim was worried about his math grade. That's an example of feelings. Number 2, Dean gently lifted the baby bird back into its nest. Actions. Number 3, instead of helping her dad with yard work, Sonia snuck off to be with her friends. Choices. Number 4, get out of my way, Tanya bellowed. Words. 5, Josh volunteered to help the teacher hand out textbooks. Actions. 6, I knew I could do better and I promised myself I would train more before the next race. Thoughts. 7, Stella was disappointed that the game had been canceled. Feelings. 8, Stephen thought about his behavior. I was wrong and I need to apologize for what I said. Thoughts. Number 9, Brant saw the bus pull up to the bus stop and knowing that no one was at home, he turned around and went back to his house. Choices. 10, it isn't my fault, said Samantha. Words. Okay, for this section it says, match the statements below with the character clues they represent. You may use the clues more than once. Number 11, Robert hid the remote control from his brother so he couldn't watch his favorite show. The answer is A, Robert is cruel. Number 12, Lisa thanked the waitress for bringing her a soda. The answer is C, Lisa is courteous. 13, Tim said, I just want to double check that I finished all parts of this project. The answer is D, Tim is conscientious. Number 14, Al realized his plan wouldn't work out and said, well, we'll just try something else. The answer is D, Al is flexible. 15, Medora knew she would never tell Lorna's secret, no matter what happened. The answer is B, Medora is discreet. 16, Howie jumped up and down when he was chosen to be on the team. The answer is D, Howie is enthusiastic. 17, even though she was only 12 years old, Jessica knew how to tend a garden, take care of farm animals, and sew her own clothes. B, Jessica is mature. 18, Mr. Stimson moved around the table using a ruler to make sure all of the plates were lined up exactly 3 inches from the edge of the table. The answer is C, Mr. Stimson is precise. 19, while she knew she'd rather have the expensive leather boots, Carla chose the more affordable shoes. The correct answer is B, Carla is practical. 20, Sarah checked her watch. She knew she would have to leave immediately to get to the meeting on time. The answer is B, Sarah is punctual. Okay, so for today's lesson, we're going to do another practice with characterization, similar to what you did with the true story of the 3 little pigs. So what I want to do first, though, before getting into that lesson on characterization, I just want to do a review with you. And this is on our resource slideshow, slide number 10. And it's also in your composition book. And it should be right after character traits. So just as a review, defining characterization. Characterization is the process by which the writer reveals the personality of a character. And so an author does this one of 2 ways. an author can directly just tell the audience what the personality of the character is. And so here's an example. The patient boy and quiet girls were both well-mannered and did not disobey their mother. So here the author is directly telling the audience the personality of these two children. The boy is patient and the girl is quiet. Most times, though, authors don't just say point blank what their personality, what the personality of the character is. It makes it more interesting if authors and writers use indirect characterization. And so indirect characterization shows things that reveal the personality of a character. There are different methods of indirect characterization. So authors can often use words. What does the character say, or how does the character speak, or through thoughts and feelings? What is revealed through the character's private thoughts and feelings? Actions and choices. What does the character do? How does the character behave? And appearance. What does the character look like? And how does the character dress? You're going to read a story called Tanaika. And I tried doing a video earlier, and I recorded the whole story of Tanaika, but it was just too long that the app that we use could not handle a video that long. Maybe it was just on my end, but your teacher will share with you this link, and this is the text to Tanaika, and it's a really good Native American story about a custom or ritual that they do as they are turning 12, or is 11. Okay, 11, not 12. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to read the story Tanaika, and it's, I think there's 7 slides. There's 7 slides altogether, and what you're going to do is, as you read the story, you're going to look for examples of thoughts, words, feelings, choices, and actions. And what you're going to do is, in your composition book, you already should have this page all set up. And what you're going to do as you read, look for examples of this. Then I'll share with you my resource slideshow. And we're going to be on slide 11. Okay. So here on resource slide 11, this is what you see in your composition book. And what's going to go on the outside. So here are, after reading the story, this is what you should have gotten. So the purple is what's going to go on top of the flap. So this is for thoughts. The purple, it says, I had no intention of living on a reservation for the rest of my life. That is going to go on the top. Okay, so that is one of the things that Mary had thought as she was thinking about this Tanaika ritual. Okay, and so that goes on the top. I had no intention of living on a reservation for the rest of my life. Now what goes underneath is what's on yellow, and this is the character trait. So this is what we're talking about, indirect characterization. So the author is trying to show us that Mary is ambitious and she does not want to be confined to the reservation. So that the yellow goes underneath the flap. Okay, so the purple, the thought, is what was actually found in the text about what Mary thought, and the yellow is our indirect characterization, what we realized, you know, through indirect characterization. We realized that, well, if she has no intention of living on a reservation for the rest of her life, that must mean that Mary is ambitious and she does not want to be confined to the reservation. So that is her character trait, a personality that, a character trait that the author is revealing. Okay. Next, words on the top, on purple. I'll babysit for you 10 times. This is where Mary was asking Mrs. Richardson to borrow some money. And she told her how she would pay her back. I'll babysit for you 10 times. What does that reveal about her character? Well, underneath, it shows that Mary is responsible. Okay, so responsible. Also, Mary is a clever thinker and she plans ahead. So it shows that she's both responsible and clever. Okay, then feelings. In the text, Mary is angry when Ernie calls her call custom silly. So on the heart, you would write, Mary is angry when Ernie calls her call custom silly. Underneath, when you lift the flap up, you're going to write what this reveals about her character. So this revealed that Mary is actually proud of her heritage. Okay. Then next, choices. Choices. Instead of eating insects, she orders food from Ernie's. That was a fun part in the story to me. I wasn't expecting that. So that's a choice that Mary made. She didn't want to eat insects nor the berries, but she got food. That was a choice she made. What does that reveal about her character? Underneath, you're going to write, under the flap, Mary is clever and bold and not afraid to get what she wants. For actions, this is what Mary did in the story. Mary confesses the truth about her Tana'ika experience to her grandfather. I'm glad she told the truth. Okay, what does that reveal about her character? It shows that Mary is honest and respects her grandfather and their Ka traditions. Okay, so the yellow are the character traits that these indirect characterization clues give us about Mary. Please also write somewhere, probably in the bottom, if you room at the bottom, please write Mary's physical traits. Copy it down in your composition book. It says, Mary's physical traits, 11 years old, Ka indigenous girl, bathing suit, bare feet, medium long hair, clean and well fed. So remember, the physical traits describe her appearance. And, one more thing I forgot. Add this in, just as a reminder to you. If you have room at the top or at the bottom, write down what characterization is, just as a reminder. Characterization is a method a writer uses to develop characters. For example, through thoughts, words, choices, etc. Now, when you're done with your composition book and completing copying down the purple and yellows, what I want you to do is you'll go to your assignment slideshow and you'll go to slide number 16 and you're going to upload a picture of your composition book with your Tana'ika notes done. Now, try to do a good job in taking a picture of your notes and uploading it so that your teacher can actually read it. Okay, and I think that's it for this lesson. Thank you very much.